New creation man. New creation man is the study of who we are as born again believers in Christ. New creation comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17. If any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things have passed away, behold, all things have become new. New creation man is the continuation of union life. In this study, we will now focus more on who and what we are based on our union with Christ. We will discover who God is made us to be in Christ and all the benefits and privileges that have been given to us in Christ. A new creature in Christ. The word declares that if man is in Christ, he becomes a new creature. This verse was penned by Apostle Paul to the Corinthian church. God had given him the divine revelation to see what and who we are now in Christ. This in itself was a tremendous revelation, especially from a man who used to be a Jewish scholar. The word new means totally new, first time, which has never existed before. The word creature means designed, fabricated, and created being of God. This means that we are totally new creation person of God that has never existed in the history of the human creature. Plurally, all believers make up a new creation race or people of God. This new creation race of people came into existence on the day of Pentecost. Before that day, there were no such people. Before the cross, the people of God were called the Jews. It was only after the cross that God did a radically new and different thing to his people. It all began on the day of Pentecost, but was not fully known as to the spiritual significance until 20 years later when it was revealed to Apostle Paul as to exactly what and who these people of God who believe in Christ really were. This was so unique, so profound, and so different from all other peoples of the world that he called us a new creature, uniquely designed and created by God. All born again Christians are part of this new creation, people of God. The term Christian first came into being from the believers in the church of Antioch. In Acts chapter 11 verse 26, it says, "And the disciples were first called Christians in Antioch." In the early church, it was only in Antioch that believers were called Christians. It was coined after the Apostle Paul came and taught them about who they were in Christ. The church in Jerusalem didn't call themselves Christians, for they thought of themselves as followers or disciples of Christ. The term Christian did not become universal until after the first century. In Galatians chapter 6 verse 15, Paul once again uses the term new creation to show a contrast and emphasis what is important. For in Christ Jesus, neither circumcision nor uncircumcision avails anything but a new creation. The contrast Paul is bringing us is to point out what it is of great significance to God and our own spiritual life. He says neither circumcision nor uncircumcision is of any value. He was speaking to the Jewish believers who felt compelled to have all the new Gentile believers to be circumcised. In like manner, believers oftentimes have some particular mannerism, ritual, or some religious practice they feel has some great spiritual meaning, which in reality has little to none. The number one most important issue for all believers is to be in Christ, which makes them a new creature. Paul gives us the greatest insight of the new creation person that we are now. We will discover that this is the central theme in most of his epistles. To God be the glory. God bless you.